I once used a Micro Four Thirds camera to capture some wildlife footage, and I couldn't wash the shame off of me for 3 days. It smelled like a radish had been offered to a piglet, and the piglet refused it. To this day, I lust after a full-frame wildlife setup, but the universe does not conspire to my needs. I've been looking for a Sony 200 to 600, almost got ripped off, and then some mysteries came afoot.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
We're in S cine tone. Disgusting. My hair is not red. Sony, grow up. What's your problem? Reptilian shirts down below. So, y'all know I've been wanting that Sony 200 to 600. I don't know, I felt like I had this higher ideal of what it actually is. Like, I got some amazing footage, that grackle eating a fish, and I was like, wow, full frame is the truth. Why would you shoot on anything less? So since that time, Sony lent me that lens. I've been wanting it really bad, and I have not been able to find a deal, and it's been driving my life madness. So y'all have seen the video where I almost got ripped off buying one. The element was scratched, and I was like, how did you not tell me about that? We don't have to go over that again. So after that day, I'm like, looking, and I figure, you know what? Let's just go to Camera Canada. I've been dealing with them. They've been so nice. I've bought some things there. They lend me gear. Fantastic people at Camera Canada. Let's all go tonight. So I asked them, and they offered a nice deal. I was like, okay, it's nice, not bad. But I kept looking. I was like, it's not the best deal. I saw a used one at B&H, $1,550 American. It would be like 2,300-ish Canadian, maybe a bit more. But it was a 9 on the markings, and it was like slight surface scratches. I was like, is that on the element or not? No details given, no pictures. I was like, that's bullshit, man. And it didn't feel right. I could have had it. It was a decent deal. It probably would have been fine, but you have to listen in here. If this doesn't ring true, whatever you're trying to do in life, abandon. It has to feel right. So it didn't feel right, and I just closed the car and was like, no, it doesn't feel, something's off. Walk away. Within minutes, I get an email from Aiden Camera. Let's all go to Aiden Camera tonight? Who is this? I remember going into that shop looking for an Olympus TG tracker, that little Sony X3000 wannabe that sucked. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, the flippy screen doesn't flip around. What? Had digital stay, terrible. But that's what I remember from Aiden Camera. Boy, have they grown up. So this guy messages me saying, hey, I'm a fan of your channel. If you ever want to buy gear, I'll give you a great deal. I'm like, really? I have been thinking of getting a Sony 200 to 600 with a 1.4 times sound converter. What kind of deal are we talking about here? He offered a deal I couldn't refuse. I was like, really? Okay. Ow. My back. We pounced, my friend. We have a full frame camera, and my back has a new chiropractor lined up. Huh? Now the funniest thing, I take this thing out. You know that I just almost got ripped off because there was marks on the rear element for the one guy, and it's showing up in the shot. I was like, you know what? Enough of that. I'm buying new. I go out for a beautiful day, get a bunch of footage, get back, and I was like, there's this giant mark in all my footage, like a big one, much worse than the other mark. Like, what happened? I looked at my sensor, there was like a twig on it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I just, gone, we're fine now. But every shot, so we're just adding some cinematic bars to cover up my mistake. And then the cinema was ours. First shot, I somehow managed to find a song sparrow. I thought they were extinct, but there's at least 3 left. A tongue sparrow, you might say. Look at his tongue. Oh wow, we got a tongue sparrow. He's singing la la la. Oh yeah. We got it. Sony full frame magic. Now immediately what I noticed is that stabilization, I forgot that it was like quite swaying quite a bit there, and it's tough. It's tough to hold it steady, and my arm was breaking in half, and every shot I got, it's like I'm trying to be as still as possible here, and it's not possible at all. How does anybody hold this thing steady? I don't get it. I have immediate buyer's remorse on that one. Why didn't I wait? I realize now that the universe was saying wait a while to get a new system, not this one. That's why I kept getting the no on this one. Guy ripped me off, bad deal, don't do it. I should have waited for a Canon camera. But thank you, Aiden Camera, for reaching out. I talked to the owner, and what a great guy. Like, they're a family-run business. It's small. It's not like these big chief organizations like B&H. They have all their gear. They don't have to buy any of it. I love learning the insides. You think, like, if I was to sell Sony Reptilian t-shirts down below, you would think, oh, I have to buy like 100 of them, have them in my house, and then I sell them if I'm lucky enough down below. This is a vintage wash. That's not how it works. At B&H, they get all their gear for free. When they sell one, they just get billed for it. A cheap bill, by the way. Yeah, not what we pay. No, you. Not I pay less. You're a scrub. You're not a YouTuber. Be real with yourself. Be real with your life and your situation. I saw a magical raccoon sleeping in a tree. So peaceful, you can see the stripes and the wind blowing in his hair. Lustful, thick raccoon hair. So beautiful, my young son. May you sleep this day, you nocturnal beast. As Sony raises the exposure. Oh, he's waking. You're not in focus now, but you will be soon, my friend. I didn't miss the key moment where he moved. We got his paw. Are you believing the paw? The details on the paw. This is with the 1.4 times converter. I do wonder if I needed that. I probably didn't. I found that the 600 was enough. In 4K 120p, it's a 10% crop, so that's 660. It's decent enough. I feel like the stabilization is suffering with this 1.4 times, but I felt like there would be moments in my life where I wanted that extra bit. It's 924mm in 4K 120p. I feel like one day I will be sad that I didn't have it, so I did pounce. And with the A7S III, with its 12 megapixels, it actually does make a bigger difference than just zooming in. So I'm happy I bought it. At Aiden Camera, I saw this majestic night heron with the orange eyes. I was like, wow, look at you. Sony color science just lying to us right now. Nothing. It looks so washed out. I don't know how I ruined this shot, but it's ruined hard. As he looks off into the distance, wondering if there's a fish in that direction, or if there's one straight ahead. Now, I don't mean to alarm you, but I did capture a majestic night heron flying towards us all.
Let me fly towards my hands, towards my hands. Let me fly towards my hands, towards my hands. Let me fly towards.
You know what's funny? After reviewing most of this footage and seeing like the swaying stabilization, not the best. It was a very cloudy day, so it's not like we're getting majestical footage here. And I went out the other day with the Fuji, and it was a nice sunny day, and I just realized that the magic was ours in the Fuji. You get some footage that's just, you're not going to replicate it. You don't need full frame. Fuji has your back covered with the X-Trans sensor. It's just magic. It doesn't matter that it's not full frame. So my lust for full frame was unintended by God himself. So I might get a Fuji X-H2S because I have the lens, I like the system, it's just I don't think I'm getting what I wish I was gonna get with the animal eye detect working flawlessly. That's not gonna happen, we all know that. I'm gonna be back button focusing manually, okay. That is what it is. Hopefully the IBIS doesn't jitter as I catch up. People are saying it's fixed, but nobody's doing that with a telephoto lens. It's just like, oh, 18 to 55. Wow. It's got optical stability too, working together against me. So we'll see. I think that might rival the Sony footage. I don't know. I don't know that it won't. And in here, as we're seeing with Sony Cinetone bullshit, what the hell is this? What if I turned it off? This is what I was shooting in for a while. Is this better? Why do I go off on these tangents? Nobody cares. Oh, the click-off rate. Look at them go. Oh, no. Oh, God. Do something interesting. We saved this shot. I have LED lights with leaves. They're Tony balls. Oh, I'm not stopped down. Oh, I stopped up. I'm overexposed. The ISO was... that's white balance. Oh no, my acne. Oh, majestic yellow finch. What will you do next? You're a yellow bird against a green background, but Sony can't really distinguish the colors. They don't really know the difference between yellow and green. That's unfortunate for my wallet. Can Sony at least tell the difference between yellow and brown of the lake? No, not really. It's all just kind of muddy together, isn't it? Sony color science. The one thing they can't research because it requires a soul and heart. This is fine, these skin tones. I don't mind Sony at all. Love them. Now, I did happen to come upon a duck mother and about 9 little babies, and they were waiting behind a tree, and the mother's like, you just wait here, this guy is a little suspicious, he has a Sony camera, I'm not sure how we're gonna look. If he had a Fuji, then we could come out, it'd be safe, but I didn't. Then they realized, okay, maybe he'll grade it with a Canon color or something, and then they came out, they were floating around there, little duckies, little ducky boys. Oh, those are cute. I can't even, it looks like a mallard, that's a mallard duck, but the babies look different. I think that was a different father. She cheated on Lewis, and if your name is Lewis, you're used to being cheated upon. That's just, we all know that. Who would date a Lewis? No offense to you down there below, but you're used to it, being rejected due to your name. This is why you can't take my show serious, because I will praise Sony one day as the greatest thing ever. The autofocus, I love it. The Sony color science is not so bad. Pretty good. Some days it's like, it's hip-hop colors, it's cool, it's better than Canon, screw Canon. And then the very next day I'll be like, I'll try a Canon camera, even this bullshit 6D Mark II. The Camera Canada let me. I prefer it. I prefer it than the Sony. I like it better, the colors, even though it looks like a smartphone kind of. Like it's the worst image, no detail whatsoever. I was doing a little recipe video showing my stuff and it just looked so bad, but it's Canon colors. I used to praise Fuji color science a lot, and then I see like a purple hue to my face or something, and I'm like, maybe Fuji's not right for me. For wildlife, those colors, you can't beat them. But for the face, so don't ever listen to me. I'm just a wild, rambling madman with no scientific background or intellectual ideas that make any sense in your life. You don't need my information. Don't pay attention to it. Now here's a shot that I couldn't have got on the Fuji because Sony has that zoom that's smooth And this was all in autofocus. I had a little box on its head. This is, I believe it's a female wood duck. Don't quote me on that. She was making sounds. She might have had babies off in the distance. And I'm zooming in there, slowly, majestically. Sure, it's waving around quite a bit, and I couldn't get the full rotation due to the finger I was using not being long enough. But eventually we got in there. If I did this with Fuji, not only would it not have been smooth, but it would have lost the focus. It would have been jumping and pulsing. That just wouldn't have worked for my life. So there's some times when you want this Sony camera, and other times when you wish you had the Fuji. She jumped in the pond. Oh, wow. Oh, she jumped in and wiggled. She wiggled around. Oh, that was good times. Now here's another example where the Fuji just wouldn't have been able to keep up with the stabilization. Now this isn't perfect, but there's no like jerky movements where the IBIS is catching up to your movements. Like this is just pretty smooth. Not bad. Like it wasn't, they were kind of far away, but I was blown away. There was like 3 kingfishers here. It was like a kingfisher village. And I caught them. There was one flying. This one I tried to catch, but I had a tough time keeping them in the box, the autofocus box. I was like, this is impossible. You know that, right? Especially with the 1.4 times converter, that was not happening. So here's my plan. I like this Sony 200-600. I think it's my favorite wildlife setup. It has some quirks. Sony color science, I need to tweak it a little better. I need to move better. Just maybe a rib elbow connection and we'll get that stabe looking nice. This shot is why I like full frame for wildlife. I know it's nothing special, but there's just a 3D pop to that bird. There's just something about it. I can't explain it. I don't know how a zoom lens gives you a 3D pop. It shouldn't. That should only be in Leica and Zeiss primes. But that just stands out, and that would not happen on Micro Four Thirds. It just wouldn't. You can get a blurry background, but there's a complete difference between 3D pop and tonne. I will make a video explaining Faust. Now that doesn't mean you need to feel shame for your Micro Four Thirds camera. There are things that you do better than mine, so just be okay, don't listen to me. I'm going to insult your gear. At some point I will also be jealous of it. So don't take me serious, be happy with what you have, and let's all go to Aiden Camera tonight to buy something. They got it. They got it all. That disgusting Sony color science. I just switched to Cinetone again. My beard's not red. Sony, your black suck. You're racist. It's probably just my settings, black level. Can I change that? Just gets worse. Oh. -9. -7. Oh, that click off rate. Okay, I'll leave. After you buy a reptilian shirt. Thank you, Aiden Camera, tonight, and Camera Canada. And I'll see you in the next one.